a draft of my paper on heritage and sustainability, a reflection on the role of participatory heritage practices in sustainable development. So first of all, we need to say that heritage and sustainability is a very dynamic and multidisciplinary field. The concept of heritage strongly evolved from the monuments and building based idea in the mid-19th century all the way through the inclusion of landscapes and objects in the mid-20th century towards the acknowledgement today of the importance of intangible heritage and values, uses, and therefore users, people. Contextually, also the concept of sustainability highly evolved, starting from the Brundtland Report from 1987 and the 3 independent pillars, all the way to the Venn diagram of the interlinked 3 dimensions of sustainable development, the social, environmental, and economic. Without going through all the evolution, let's just go to the latest Agenda for Sustainable Development, which is based on a 5 dimensions model, the 5 P's: people, prosperity, planet, partnership, and peace, which are the core of the SDGs. Well, many people criticized all these models, saying that they were failing to include dimensions. They were referring to aesthetics and cultures among others, and that's where the field of culture and sustainable development kind of emerged a decade ago, and many different models were developed within this field. Today I want to point out the one created by the COST European Research Network, which identifies 3 different roles of culture in, for, and as sustainable development. Culture in sustainable development looks at culture's preservation as an object of development in itself. So culture is an independent dimension called cultural vitality, and which has social, economic, and environmental implications, finding its place into the Venn diagram of sustainability. Then culture for sustainable development as a mediating role. So culture mediates the interaction between society and its environment, becoming a driver of sustainable development in a broader sense. So while the first role refers more to SDG 11, so strengthening our efforts to preserve and safeguard culture and natural heritage, the second role has a broader impact. And one example that was already mentioned today is the Culture Urban Future report published by UNESCO in 2016. Then we have culture as sustainable development that looks at culture as a set of values and habits which can shift toward sustainability and therefore empower heritage in a transformative role. And in 2016, Michael Schwartz published a Sustainist Lexicon where he theorizes a shift in culture from a modernism, like a 20th century modernism, towards a 21st century sustainism. But what does it mean? Here I have a quote I would like to read to you. So what distinguishes the new sustainist era from its modernist predecessor most is altogether a different mindset and ethos. One is creating a collective culture which is more connected, locally rooted, collaborative, respectful of the human scale, and altogether more environmentally and socially sustainable. Now, in this context, he presents heritage and heritage making, and more broadly heritage practices, as a co-design process which is collective and collaborative. We're talking about participation in heritage practices, which is an integrated element of heritage and sustainability for many decades. Research started from the models for the evaluation of participatory heritage practices and then evolved into the role of participatory methods in heritage conservation and management. Nowadays, we're talking about participatory heritage practices for sustainable development. But when we look at research on indicators for sustainable development, participation is generally indicated as a measurement of social sustainability. But is it really everything we can measure about participation in its role in achieving sustainable development? So this is my research question. What role do participatory heritage practices play in achieving goals of sustainable development? So going quickly through terminology, I did a systematic literature review of 40 articles, proceedings, and book chapters in English, which later on I've integrated with extra academic literature via snowball effect and grey literature, because the field is fastly evolving, and in many cases, grey literature seems to be at an advanced point compared to academic literature. Before going to the analysis of the results, I will say that I intentionally not included a definition of participation, and we already discussed about this today in previous sessions, because I haven't found one in literature. I haven't found a widely adopted one. So for the purpose of this presentation, participation includes multiple different kind of stakeholders, multiple kind of degrees of participation from active to passive, and different kinds of activities, let's say. So what I observed in literature is that participation can be seen as a right. For instance, as a human right, as is mentioned in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at the Article 27, the right of participation to cultural life, but also access to and enjoyment of cultural heritage. I'm just going to go quickly through this because unfortunately today we don't have much time to go in depth, but I will be happy to discuss further any of this point later on. Then the right to be represented as a democratic principle, the right to take part in decision-making on the management of common goods, and there's a lot of literature that looks at heritage as commons. And then the right to access to benefit from the management of these goods. And here we move slightly from the social impact of participation, looking also at economic aspects. Then participation in heritage practices can look as a tool to achieve the sustainable development of cultural and natural heritage resources, or cities, for instance, but also the sustainability of governance and management. We already talked about it today, but also the sustainability of communities, both from an economic and a social, cultural point of view. Participation is also indicated as a condition in literature, a condition to achieve inclusive and equitable development. For instance, the one behind the motto of the SDGs kind of refers to this, and then to achieve a condition to achieve sustainable heritage management. And also, before we have made this observation, saying, sustainable heritage management. What I observed, I tried to make a parallelism between the role of culture in, for, and a sustainable development, and the role of participation as a right, as a tool driver, and as a condition enabler of sustainable development. Observing that both can have a self-standing, mediating, but also a transformative role in achieving goals of sustainable development. Then, when we talk about sustainable development, here we have these different Venn diagrams, but I try to look at the results through that lens, and I've seen many references to the social dimension of sustainability, the economic dimension, the environmental one, the cultural one, but then also references to sustainability of governance, which made me think that maybe the three-dimensional, four-dimensional model of sustainability wasn't the right one to look at the potential impact of participatory practices in heritage management. Then I decided to take the 5 dimensions model, which the SDGs are based on, and I've seen references to dimension of people, of prosperity, of planet, then of partnership, which I could put in relation with governance, and references to peace. So this 5-dimension system, so the SDGs, offer a broader scope of dimensions and of goals, but still they seem not complete as reference to culture. It didn't seem addressed enough to analyze my results. So I just quickly go to the conclusions I would like to discuss with you. So there is a possible parallelism that can be made between the well-being for and sustainable development and of culture and participatory heritage practices as a right, a tool, driver, and a conditioning of sustainable development. Participatory heritage practice can have multiple roles to address sustainable development, self-standing, mediating, and transformative, so going beyond a mere indicator of social sustainability. And people are a vehicle, and they shape culture. And therefore, their active engagement towards change enables the fulfillment of culture's role in achieving sustainable development. And that was a kind of a long step in my conclusions that I've taken, but something I would like to discuss. And the 3-4 sustainability dimensions model is limited, and a broader but not complete spectrum of dimensions and goals is offered by the SDGs, which therefore is what are maybe is the existing, or looks like the existing most sustainable framework so far to measure participatory practices' contribution to achieve sustainable development. Thank you for your attention.